Welcome back to another week of Stephan's Spectacular Science. For your first experiment, you're going to need some balloons. You're going to need some plastic bottles. You're going to need some citric acid. You're going to need some baking soda. And you're going to need one measuring spoon. Mine's a tablespoon. For our next experiment, we're going to need popsicle sticks. We're going to need a couple elastics, a couple different sizes, and we're going to need some straws and some scissors. And for our final experiment, we're going to need pencils, we're going to need a paintbrush, we're going to need tape, cocoa powder, some white papers, and that's what we'll need for today. Alright folks, to get started on our citric acid and baking soda reaction, we're actually going to need a piece of paper. We're going to use this piece of paper to make a cone. So to grab one corner, and we're going to turn it in like so, and we're just going to roll it tight on one end and a little bit loose on the other end so that we have a little spout, kind of like that. One end like so, and the other end like so. Then we're going to grab our container. I've filled my container about halfway full with some like room temperature kind of warm water. We can grab that, and we can grab our baking soda and our measuring spoon. Mine's 1 tablespoon. So 1 tablespoon is what we're going to need. We're going to put our spout in the top of our water bottle like so. We're going to grab our 1 tablespoon of baking soda like so, and we're going to dump it in the top. It's going to drop in, and just give a couple taps to the side of our spout so that we can make sure all of the baking soda gets in. You can give it a couple shuffles kind of, and then we can move this out of the way, and we can set this aside for now while our baking soda mixes with our water. Next, using our spout, let's try and keep it nice and tight at the bottom. We can grab our balloon, and we can stick our balloon on the end of our spout, like so. This might be a little bit trickier than the water bottle just because the spout is made of paper and the balloons are a little elasticy. Oh, there we go. So it'll look like so. Next, we're going to grab our citric acid, and we're going to take 1 tablespoon of that, as you guys can see, and then we'll pour that directly in the spout as well. You'll have to move the spout around a little bit, give it a couple like squeezes on the side, and you'll feel all of the citric acid fall into the balloon as it switches place with the air that's in the balloon. Once that's full, we can take our spout out, we can set the spout to the side, and we can take our balloon and we can set that to the side. Next thing we need to do is make sure we have sunglasses, we have goggles, we have some sort of eye protection. We're going to take our container that is prepared. We're going to take our balloon that is prepared with the citric acid inside, and we're going to carefully put the bottom of the balloon over the top of the bottle like so. So now you have baking soda and water down here. We have citric acid in our balloon. Set it in a nice safe spot, and then we're going to lift the balloon up and get all the citric acid in there. And we have a reaction. Round 2! And that is your citric acid and baking soda reaction. Alrighty, so this is how we make our harmonica. we're going to need to take our 2 popsicle sticks. We're going to take one of them, and we're going to take our thick elastic, and we're going to stretch it along the long wise of it like that. So that it looks like that up close. Just like that. Then we're going to take our straw, and we're going to measure it to our popsicle stick. And we're going to cut a piece that's about the same length as our popsicle stick. So I'll measure it, and then I will chop our little piece. So now we have a piece that's about the same size as our popsicle stick. Now we can use this piece, we can measure it up, and we can cut another piece on our straw the same size. So now I have 2 pieces of straw the same size. On our first popsicle stick, the one that we have the elastic on, we're going to take that, and we're going to take one of our pieces of straw, and we're just going to tuck it between the elastic and the wood, like so. So it looks like that. We're going to do the same on the other side. So now it looks like that. Next, we're going to take our second popsicle stick. We're going to place it on top like so and make a little sandwich. It'll look like that. And then once it's like that, we can take our small elastics and just tie them around one side, one on one side. Ooh. This is a feisty little elastic. And the other on the other side. And there you have it. You have a harmonica. For your final project, you're going to need some blank white paper. You're going to need some nice sharp pencils, pre-sharpened pencils. You're going to need some tape. You're going to need a paintbrush. You're going to need some hot chocolate mix, or hot cocoa powder. And you're going to need a glass. So to get started, you're going to take one of your pencils and your piece of paper, and you're going to trace out your left hand. Like so. So if you can sort of see, I have a light sketch of one hand on there. And then we can take our right hand, place it on the page, and do that one right beside. Once you have 2 hands on your page, you can label them. Stephan's left hand, Stephan's right hand. Like so. Then we're going to take a separate piece of paper. We can place our hand page to the side. And we're going to take our sharp pencil, and we're just going to scribble until we have a whole pile of like black dust, so till there's no more pencil on here. Once you have a dust pile, you can take your finger and you can put your finger in the dust pile and roll it around a little bit. And your finger should get all covered in dust like that. Now you're going to take your piece of clear tape and you're going to just place it on your finger like so. And you're going to make sure to get your whole fingerprint covered with the tape and rub it nice onto the tape. Now when you release the tape, your fingerprint will be on the tape, if you can see. So then you can take this piece of tape and you can put that fingerprint on the finger that matches yours on the page. Like so. So continue for each finger. And a full hand will look like so. And there you have your own fingerprints recorded on the paper. Now here's a challenge for you guys. My challenge is for you guys to try and get one of these sheets from each person in your house. The next thing I want you guys to do is to get a glass like this one. Just a nice clear glass. Once you have a glass like that, you're going to have a page like this with a little bit of dust for everybody to put their hands in. We want them to get their hands nice and full of the pencil dust like so, and just touch the glass. Next, we want to take our cocoa powder. We want to grab our paintbrush, and we can lightly dust the sides of our glass. If you guys can see a little better here, just lightly with the brush dust the glass with the hot chocolate powder. And if you look really closely, I don't know if you can see on there, the fingerprints have shown back up. And what we can do is we can take our piece of tape, we can place it over one of these fingerprints, and then let's lift it back off. And now you can see the fingerprint that was on there with the cocoa powder. And then you can mix and match on your sheets like this to see which person was the last person to touch the glass. Did that one backwards.